The Crow and the Pitcher, 8,000 Pebbles of Patience. There was once a crow named Kaga, who had known both the exhilaration of cloud-skimming winds and the heavy silence of parched summers. He was no ordinary crow, not because of a shimmering feather or an unusual call, but because of how he watched. Most birds flew in search of food or shelter, but Kaga often flew just to observe. He watched harvests fail and begin again. He watched children grow from barefooted curiosity to dusty-browed responsibility. He watched rivers dry and sing again when the sky remembered kindness. But now, the sky had forgotten. A drought had stolen color from the land. The leaves had turned brittle, the soil cracked like old skin. The very wind carried the weight of thirst. Kaga flew tirelessly. Day after day, his wings burned from the sun, his throat dry from silence. Wells were empty, ponds crumbled into memory, and even the dew on dawn grass had abandoned the earth. He was ready to fall. Then, beneath a dying bougainvillea bush, half hidden by the cracked roots of a banyan tree, he spotted it, a pitcher. Clay. Time-worn. Still intact. He landed cautiously. Inside was water. Real. Clear. Flickering like the last candle in a temple long closed. But his beak could not reach it. For a long while, Kaga stood beside the pitcher. In his weariness, a cruel temptation surged, to scream, to break the pitcher, to claw at fate with rage. But instead, he sat. He breathed. And he listened. There was a soft sound nearby. The earth, though scarred, still cradled pebbles, small, rounded stones pressed by time, shaped by silence. One by one, Kaga picked them up in his beak and dropped them into the pitcher. Each plunk was a prayer. A prayer for patience. For resilience. For wisdom over impulse. He dropped the first 10 with trembling wings. The next 20 with hope swelling faintly. And the final pebbles with the rhythm of certainty, as if even the air began to believe again. At last, the water rose to meet him. He drank, not in desperation, but with reverence. Not to fill his belly, but to honor what it meant. From that day forward, Kaga no longer flew vast distances for survival. Instead, he flew to observe others who had given up, the calf that stood near an empty trough, the elder squirrel watching a hollow nut, the spider rebuilding its web for the 6th time. And to each, Kaga whispered, not in language, but in presence. Wait. Observe. Try again. 8,000 drops make an ocean. 8,000 failures carve resilience. He began leaving pebbles beside dried wells, pitchers, even bird baths forgotten in courtyards. Sometimes the villagers found them and laughed, which foolish bird did this? But some children saw him. And slowly, they began to leave pebbles too. Not just in pitchers, but on doorsteps, beside sleeping stray dogs, near wilted plants. A quiet ritual began, a culture of small kindness. Kaga had become not just a crow, but a teacher of time. Moral? The world doesn't change in grand gestures. It transforms in small, patient actions, one pebble at a time. True intelligence is not in knowing everything. It's in knowing what to do next, even when no one applauds. Thanks for watching. Please like, share and subscribe. ALP Academy, learn lightly, grow deeply.